As automotive brand ambassadors go, it doesn't get much sexier than the Peugeot RCZ. With its low-slung stance and its double-bubble roof, this striking coupe is in the metal proof that even mainstream manufacturers can produce cars that are distinctive and different. 3 years after its first appearance, the RCZ has undergone a midlife facelift. And that's a good reason for a reunion. The RCZ has always been a head-turner because it oozes the kind of glamour you normally associate with exotic machinery. No wonder it's attracted more than 50,000 buyers globally since going on sale 3 years ago. Peugeot hopes that some nips and tucks will extend that appeal. While the shape and the silhouette of the RCZ have remained essentially the same, the updated model gets a completely new front end. Gone is that large gaping grille, replaced by a much more elegant, much tidier treatment, which is very similar to the 208 that's already been on the market for a while. The result is a car that is both sporty and distinguished. The rest of the shape remains unchanged. The proportions still favour a low-slung, wide-tracked look that emphasises the sculpted flanks and the pronounced swagger of the haunches. The roofline draws a smoothly curved line from front to rear that's emphasised by pronounced metallic-hued roof arches. These represent one of the RCZ's defining design traits. But it's the so-called double-bubble roof that is the design's focal point. It highlights the fluid shape of the profile while introducing a certain classic sports car aesthetic. Despite the presence of those rear seats, the RCZ is very much a two-seater car, with those little seats at the back probably best used for toddlers or otherwise additional luggage space. The layout very much the same as before, perhaps the biggest difference, the large display, which is now also the heart and the interface for the upgraded infotainment system, which also includes Bluetooth for the first time. The finishes and materials still look and feel the upmarket part, and the standard features list sets an unashamedly luxurious tone. Those high-backed seats offer firm but comfortable support, and the overall standard of fit and finish is high enough to match the elevated expectations created by that crowd-pleasing styling. The ambiance is unmistakably premium. Quite surprisingly, the boot is huge by sporty coupe standards, offering 380 litres of cargo space. The Peugeot RCZ's 1.6-litre four-cylinder engine must be one of the world's most successful small-capacity turbocharged engines. It produces, as before, 147 kilowatt of maximum power, together with 275 newton-meters of torque, and drive to the front wheels is still via a 6-speed manual gearbox. For those who prefer the convenience of an automatic gearbox, a 6-speed auto can be had in combination with a slightly detuned 115 kilowatt version of the same 1600cc engine. The most engaging aspect of the French coupe is its immediacy and responsiveness. Despite its smooth road manners and its inherent composure, it's able to communicate its every move with an honesty and a purity of purpose that ensures absolute involvement. Plus, you don't need to drive at 1,000,000 miles an hour to enjoy it. It's been a while since I last drove an RCZ, and on paper at least the car hasn't changed mechanically, and yet the car feels sportier and gutsier than I remembered. In dynamic terms, the top speed 240 kilometers an hour, which is marginally quicker than the 235 kilometers an hour claimed previously, the 0 to 100 time exactly the same at 7.5 seconds. And handling-wise, this car feels flat, composed and, as you'd expect, sporty. The chassis settings are far from hardcore sports car, but still taut enough to ensure ample feedback and tidy responses. In fact, the Peugeot folk have got the suspension just right, compliant enough to soak up the worst of the bumps and ruts, but with a firmness that counters body roll and allows the car to corner with flat assurance. Distinctive car design is one thing, but enduring car design is something completely different. 3 years after making its initial debut, the RCZ still looks as fresh and appealing as way back then. And even though it has a new nose that expresses the new Peugeot design language, the integrity of the overall design has been retained. And that's important because this car is certainly headed for classic car status. classic in the making or not, the RCZ has managed its progress from fanciful concept car to mature production coupe with aplomb. In the process, it's also highlighted many of the Peugeot brand's attributes, and that a sports car doesn't have to be exotic to be convincing. A 1600cc engine, 147 kilowatt and front-wheel drive doesn't sound like a winning sports car formula, but in reality the Peugeot RCZ does all the important stuff well. Add the streamlined shape, the composed ride and that capacious boot, and there's little to fault here. It may not be quick enough for some, but there's always the RCZ-R.